Have you guys ever used the expression hangry? You're hungry, so you're really angry. Boy, yes, they actually sound really angry. My mom calls it stomach hungry. I'm getting stomach hungry. If my mother says that, you better run. Because she is 4'10". Let me tell you, when she is hangry, you don't want to be in the same zip code with my mom. She'll bite you.
That's right.
So it turns out that actually hangry is a real thing. If you allow yourself to get deprived of food for too long, it really does change your demeanor.
Yeah, even though hangry is one of these pop culture kind of words that we use, you know, playfully, sometimes seriously, there is a scientific or a biochemical underpinning to it. So basically the three macronutrients, as you know, we eat our carbs, our proteins, and our fats. And these three macronutrients in our food get broken down into fuel. Carbs get broken down into simple sugars. And the sugar is primarily the #1 fuel source for our body, particularly, by the way, our brain.
Your brain, right.
Absolutely. And so we take these carbs, we break them down into sugar, and that is how we get our energy. So that's what's very important. Now, what I want to do is I want to show you over here, I have a little setup here of how this actually works. So when you eat foodstuffs, okay, it gets stored into different places through our body, like so, okay? So it's going to go into our fat, it's going to go into our liver, and it's going to go into our muscles. And these are the places where our body stores the sugar when we're not using them. So when you do not have enough sugar, your body will go back into these fat stores or these liver stores or muscle stores and take the energy and be able to use it for energy. So it takes it back out. So it stores it in the form of muscles and liver. They store it in the form of something called glycogen, which is a storage form of glucose. And in the fat, of course, it's stored as fat, which is why people who don't exercise enough or eat too much sugar or too many calories, if they don't use it, what happens to it? It goes into their fat cells.
Now, why does it make people angry to have to use their reserves?
Because what happens is, if you don't have many, so look at all those foodstuffs that we have. If you only have maybe 1 or 2 and it starts to slow down, then your body gets into what's called a fight or flight response. Your body starts thinking, oh my goodness, something is wrong. It becomes stressful to your body. And that then translates into our blood sugar. So let me show you the blood sugars.
Okay.
And we're going to get to that because that deals with 2 hormones. So now, the average person does not obviously have this at home. This is a blood glucose test. But basically, you take a little machine like this. Diabetics typically do this almost once or twice a day. You pinch it like so. You get a little squirt of blood. And we did this backstage already. So you take a little blood here, and you put it here, and then you put it inside the machine like this, and it gives you a reading, okay? Now, I'm going to show you... Oops.
But people should not be...
No.
If you're not a diabetic, you don't...
But I want to show you what it looks like on screen. So the typical blood sugar range is between 70 and 140, okay? This is a random test. Mine backstage was 84, okay? So it's fine. Now, one of the issues happens is if your blood sugar gets too low, then your body feels like it is in a stressful environment. And because of that, it releases 2 hormones. Adrenaline, otherwise known as epinephrine. So you heard people say, wow, I got a lot of adrenaline going. I'm really excited. So you release adrenaline and something called cortisol, which is your stress hormone. Those things are important because that is what the body does when it looks like it's in a fight or flight response. So if someone is attacking you, someone comes at you, your body gets into a fight or flight response. You got to do something. You got to fight or you got to run away. Like your mother, you said, you know, she gets upset. So your body releases these hormones from your adrenal gland, which is next to your kidney, so that you can do this. However, one of the byproducts of having these hormones, which you need, by the way, because it helps your sugar get back up, one of the byproducts is you get stressed. You become anxious, you become grumpy, and you just start snapping at people. That is one of the side effects of the cortisol and the adrenaline. But you need the cortisol and adrenaline because they will go into your organ systems and bring the sugar back up so your levels go above the 70. Typically, when your blood sugar levels go down to about 80 is when you start getting hungry. Yeah, exactly. It varies per person.
So it's almost time for you to eat. You better go.
That's right. So we talk about these stress hormones, adrenaline and cortisol, and I want to show you what it does. So everyone obviously does not have a glucose meter at home, but there are some signs or symptoms that you can look at to see if it's happening. So one thing, for example, is Your eyes will start to get dilated. So your pupils will dilate as a result of these hormones. The other thing that happens is, and this is very true, your heart rate right here will increase. So you start having fast heart rate, and your blood pressure throughout your body will increase. And these are all part of the fight or flight response based on these hormones.
So by not eating a regular diet, you're actually putting burden on literally your organs, your blood pressure.
100%. And also your muscles throughout your body, they will also increase in tension. Because once again, these are the adjustments that your body makes in case it has to fight or flight.
Okay.
So this is what you'll notice at home if you don't have a meter, of course. Now, what should you do? Well, your original instinct probably is to increase the amount of sugar that you consume. So you have all these sugar because your body's low in sugar. However, this is not the best thing to do because you will get an initial burst of energy with the sugar, and then guess what happens?
Yeah, you crash.
You crash.
You crash.
Right. So you're going to exacerbate the situation. So instead of going for sugars, fast sugars, go to something that is more balanced in your macronutrients. So we have chips and guac. We have some kale chips, some fruits, some vegetables, some hummus. These things have some sugar in them. So there is some natural sugar.
Natural sugar.
Natural sugar.
Right.
But they also have fiber and protein. And what this combination will do, and we say this all the time when choosing smart snacks, what this combination will do is it will make you feel full longer, it will prevent the hunger pangs, and it'll get rid of all those anxious, stressful, grumpy symptoms.
Bottom line, it'll make you less bitchy.
Hey, you said that, not me.